Hi Libra, hope you guys are doing really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and I have a reading for you guys today. This is going to be a monthly forecast for the sign of Libra. So, if you have Libra anywhere in your chart, maybe you vibe with Libra energy, you could be a cross watcher, whatever the case may be, this reading may resonate for you. As always, take what resonates and leave what does not. This is the internet. If you guys would like to book a personal reading with me, you could do that through email or form submission on my website. Libra, we will be doing a Celtic cross for you today, so that gives me the widest look at your month. It gives me an idea of everything going on for you, so we will be talking about it all. Let's get a few more cards out, and then we'll get into it. I have a full, fresh coffee with me today, so I hope y'all are staying hydrated and caffeinated out there. Thank you. Can I get one more for that, please? Thank you. Perfect. Okay. Libra. Yeah, okay. Let's get into this, Libra. Let's talk about it. Bottom of the deck is your challenge. Represents what you're not seeing, what you're not looking at. We've got the Five of Cups, we've got the Nine of Pentacles, and we've got the King of Swords. Libra, you gotta get out of your head here. Okay, I know that's a tall ask for an air sign. I have a Libra rising, I understand. But a lot of what your challenge is this month, guys, is just you have this big habit of like looking at your progress right now and comparing it to past progress and then degrading yourself because of it or being mean to yourself because of it. You know, Nine of Pentacles, girls, you are girls' gays, ladies' days. You are surviving. You are doing it, okay? Nine of Pentacles, you are self-sufficient. You are good enough. You are resourceful. You are all of these things. But with that King of Swords, it's like you have a bully that lives in your own head and you listen to the things that this bully says to you and you agree with them. That's the problem. Your challenge this month is going to be distancing yourself from that narrative, distancing yourself from that like bully narrative of I'm not good enough, I'm not resourceful enough, I'm not pretty enough, whatever that is for you, and living more authentically aligned with yourself, okay? So let's dive in. Let's get it. You start in your current energies with the Hanged Man. So you could have Pisces in your chart. This is a card of Pisces, the Hanged Man. But the Hanged Man is about suspending yourself from, like his foot is tied up in the tree. It's suspending yourself from a tree to gain higher enlightenment. I think a lot of you guys, Libras, are trying to gain a better understanding of like why you do the things that you do. Some of you might be focusing on psychology right now or sociology, because there's this feeling of, you know, I understand that this triggers me. I understand that this makes me tick. Why? Why is it doing that? Like, what is eliciting that response out of me? And so it feels like a lot of you guys are trying to dive into that and really dissect it and move it around and put it, because it's almost like the way my guides are saying this is when you put something in different lighting, you see something you didn't see. So taking these things, removing them from yourself and putting them on a table and shining a light in all these different ways on it gives you a different perspective. It gives you a different understanding of it, right? So it feels like that's what you guys are focusing on. Your crossing card, which is either a help or a hindrance in the Celtic cross, is the Two of Pentacles. I feel like this is a little bit of a hindrance, Libra. I think some of you guys are a little overburdened this month. It feels like as you're moving out of August and into September, you may have gotten promoted recently. Some of you, I think I said that wrong, gotten promoted recently, because it feels as if your responsibilities have increased, or maybe you're just taking your responsibilities more seriously now. But it almost feels like you're just, Yeah, Two of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. You're busy for some reason here, but it's like oh, do you love it? Ace of Pentacles? Excuse me, Ace of Cups? Maybe this is a good busy for some of you guys. Ace of Cups is love. And the Seven of Pentacles is like effort versus yield. I think some of you guys have to ask yourself a big question here of, do I like being busy or do I like being distracted? Because some of you, it's that you like being distracted. Okay, with that Ace of Cups, I also feel like some of you guys need to work on self-love this month. Like being kinder to yourself, learning to love yourself more, because the way my guides are saying this to me is like some of you guys, even amidst all the busyness, will still find reasons to not be kind to yourself on certain days or not show yourself grace. You know, and I feel like some of you guys, once you get wrapped up in this like whirlwind of the busyness, it helps you forget about, you know, I'm not trying to be mean here, but like, or not mean, but give you unnecessary stress, but like we have a responsibility to be kind to ourselves, right? Just like we have a responsibility to take care of ourselves, to feed ourselves, to meet our own needs. Part of our own responsibility to ourselves is kindness, being gentle, caring, you know? And I feel like some of you guys with that Seven of Pentacles here, Ace of Cups and the Two of Pentacles, you like the busyness because it keeps you distracted, keeps you away from having to see, like having to confront the shadow is basically how I'll say that. You know, because even in your headspace here, you've got the Two of Wands. So Libra, it almost feels like you're kind of hesitant this month. It's almost like okay, this is a good example. Don't make fun of me for this. I'm using a personal example. For some reason, I have like never burned myself when I was like a hairdresser. I never burned myself on a hair, like on a curler or through the oven or anything. But like I am like viscerally afraid of burning myself when I'm using the oven. So even if I preheat the oven and I go to put something in it and the plate itself isn't hot, I still wear an oven mitt. I don't know why my guides are giving me this example to tell you guys, but it's almost like some of you guys, if you're afraid to like of that, like if we're trepidatious, because that's what it is, right? Like I'm afraid of getting burned, put the oven mitt on, right? There's no shame in it. I don't feel bad about it. None of my friends bother me about it. Nobody's like, haha, you put an oven mitt on to put something in the oven. It is what it is. It doesn't affect anyone. With this Two of Wands, I think some of you guys are, it's like because you don't have that oven mitt, you're like not even putting it in the oven. You're just kind of staring at the plate. Put the oven mitt on, babe. It is okay to take extra precautions for yourself if that's what's required for you, or that's what you're requiring of yourself. You know, no one can tell you what to do. Or not what to do, but like no one can tell you to not wear the oven mitt, right? It's like my friends and I went to an amusement park within like the last year, and amusement parks are really busy. It was like during the sort of like fall winter time, so on top of that everyone's sick. We all wore masks. Other people don't have to wear masks, of course, that's not a mandate anymore, but like just to protect myself, I wore a mask. That's the example I'm giving you. Why should I stop myself from going to the amusement park when I can just put a mask on and feel better, you know? You've got the Three of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Hanged Man here. Again, I think this is just quite literally giving yourself what you need to make yourself move. Okay, if you are learning to ride a bike and you are so scared because you don't have training wheels on, put training wheels on. No one's going to judge you here, Libra. True friends, true connections, true people that care about you, they're not going to judge you. They're not going to care. If you were my friend learning how to read tarot, Do you really think I would tell you not to keep a book next to you with all the meanings of the cards in it? No, I wouldn't, because that's how I learned. I wrote down every single card, what they meant, what the reversal was, and I kept a literal college notebook with me when I started doing readings many years ago to learn. None of my friends judged me for it. Nobody said, wow, you know, blah, 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 blah. I said, oh, I'm scared to do a reading for someone. Let me grab my book. Oh, I don't know what this is. Let me grab my book. Libra, grab a book. Write it down. You know, take the steps that are necessary, because even in your physical world, you've got the Ace of Swords here, babe. It's time to move forward, Libra. That's what this month feels like for me. It's time to get going. Some of you also, I'm hearing, need to get on a better schedule. I don't think this is sleep schedule, but some of you, if you have a lot of free time, some of you need to allocate better time for yourself. Like get on a more consistent schedule as opposed to just like winging it every single day. You know, the example I'll give you is like, I have a friend that works from home, but she doesn't have set hours. She can work whenever she wants as long as it's during the day. You know, if I found that, let's say that was my schedule, and I found that I was procrastinating, I wasn't making these videos until, let's use me for example. Let's say I'm not making the videos until 11 p.m. at night. Girl, I gotta check in with myself. I gotta have a talk with myself, because what are you doing? That's what I think they're saying here, Libra. Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, Knight of Cups. Maybe some of you are remote workers, you know, because that's how this is kind of feeling to me. Some of you guys, like, you have time in your day to allocate to not just work. Okay, now I'm understanding this. My guys are saying like hobbies and stuff too. You guys have time in your day to allocate towards hobbies and responsibilities and not just work. And some of y'all are feeling uninspired because you're not doing that. You're not allocating that time for yourself. You know, you're just kind of, this is a horrible way to put it. I'm going to say it because my guides are saying it, but wasting away. When I think of someone wasting away, I think of like a shell, right? Like I'm wasting away. I think some of you guys have this feeling of like shelliness, like I'm not being authentic, like I'm a shell of who I am. And I think it's because you're not prioritizing yourself. Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. Even if you love your job, you still have to prioritize play and whimsy in your life, right? You still have to prioritize not performing labor for yourself, okay? With that Knight of Cups as well. Libra, you gotta start finding ways to give back to yourself this month, okay? As your life becomes more demanding, you're going to find that you have less and less and less and less time for yourself. Start using the time you do have for yourself now, okay? Get into that habit of creating that time for yourself. You know, there are some days where I'll have an hour and a half in between clients, and in that hour and a half, I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play video games for an hour. I'm carving out time for myself. Oh, I have 2 hours between my clients today. I'm going to go to the park and go on a walk. I'm allocating time for myself. Some of you guys need to start doing that, okay? You have 45 minutes between appointments. You work at home. Go outside and sit in the shade for 30 minutes. There's your time to yourself. Listen to music for 30 minutes in the shade outside. You know, like, or the sun if you like the sun. I hate the sun. Sorry, I have a sun sensitivity. You know, it's like some of you guys need to start making the most of the time that you have for yourself now and getting into that habit. In the past, you do have the Chariot. So I do feel like some of you guys have moved pretty quickly here in the past. Like you may have got, again, I don't know if I said this already, but like maybe a promotion or something happened pretty fast for you here. But it feels like you've been on a little bit of, the way my guys are saying this to me is so funny, the Flash, like the superhero. So maybe you have been running around for a really long time. It just kind of feels like, yeah, I think that's why you're kind of antsy too. Like, I think you went from being or not from being, it's like you've stayed super busy all the time. Yeah, Seven of Cups, Knight of Wands, Four of Swords, Nine of Swords. You got to get out of this busy bee energy, babe. You got to start creating meaningful time for yourself. Okay? Because right now, it feels like you're burnt out, Libra. I've said that to you before. I'll say it to you again. You're not staving off burnout. You are burnt out. Okay? And it feels like it's because you're always... it's almost like you're kind of putting everything else first, you know? Oh, hey, Libra, can you stay an extra hour at work today? Yeah, absolutely. Then your friend is like, hey, can you come over and, you know, help me with this thing after work? Yeah, absolutely. And then your other friend is like, oh my God, can you meet me here and help me with this after work? And you're like, yeah, absolutely. And then before you know it, you're out of the house from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. It just feels like, Libra, even if you're not going out and performing physical labor for people, if your door is always open, if your DMs are always open, if people are always sort of, I know this is going to sound harsh, but I'm going to use it, dumping on you, where's the time for you? Now, of course, friendship, just like any relationship, is a two-way street. Okay? It is also our responsibility to tell people when we don't have the emotional space. Some of you guys, though, the people pleasing is going to kill you. People pleasing stems from emotional neglect. Delve into your childhood. Look at that. Your near future is the Ace of Pentacles. So I do think some of you guys are, you're very focused on career right now. Libra, you're very focused on money. Sorry, my throat's a little dry recently. I do a lot of talking in my line of work. So with that Ace of Pentacles, I feel like you have some money coming in here. King of Cups. Ooh, from something we love doing. Eight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, love that. Page of Pentacles. Wow, Libra. I don't know if some of you guys are in service provider positions, or there's almost this feeling here of selling. So I don't know. Some of you guys may be service providers. You may be small business owners. You may sell things that you make. Or you may take clients in some respect, or patients, or whatever. But some of you guys, people really want what you've got going on. I don't know why. I don't know what this is. But it feels like you're being really seen this month. And I feel like with this Page of Pentacles, specifically the Page of Pentacles, is jumping out so much at me because I think you're going to find that people they want things from you. But not in a like, oh my God, come over and save my day kind of way. In a, hey, I want to purchase this from you kind of way. Some of you guys, I think, are going to have a little bit of a surge of income here this month, which is fabulous. It just looks really good. I don't even have advice for this position, you know? I think you guys just have something to look forward to here. Keep doing what you're doing, producing what you're producing. But if you're afraid that what you're producing isn't going to find the audience, I am here to rest assured it will. I see it clear as day here. It will. It will find the audience and you will prosper, Libra. It's almost like ominous positivity. Like, you will prosper. You have no other choice. How you view yourself right now is the Four of Cups. Not great. Four of Cups is kind of apathetic. Four of Cups is kind of like someone gives something to you and you're like, oh, thanks. You know, it's like, oh, did you even want that? It's a little bit disconnected. It's a little bit out of it. So I think, Libra, some of you guys, you have the Empress at the bottom of the deck here, I just noticed. Some of you guys, I think, are a little disconnected from your own lives right now. Or, like, disconnected from, I almost want to say joy. Like, what you want, what makes you happy. Hierophant, Page of Swords, Seven of Swords. Oh, some of you may be walking away from some sort of connection here. as well. Page of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Seven of Swords. I think some of you guys are moving away from people that are gossipy, that are loose-tongued. It feels like Four of Cups, maybe this isn't about your job or your life specifically, but it does feel like it's about the people around you. I think you guys are really looking at people's characters right now, what they stand for, what they act like, how they hold themselves, and then deciding whether or not you even want to associate with that sort of energy. You know, Seven of Swords Hierophant is dishonesty, especially it's dishonesty in a commitment too, which is even a bit uglier. So Libra, it feels like you're passing some judgment this month. I think you're really looking at people and seeing them for who they are and not who you want them to be right now. It's interesting that your superpower position or your supporting energy position, whatever you want to call it, is the Nine of Swords? Question mark? Nine of Swords is anxiety, insomnia, and sleepless nights. Oh, thank you. My guides just made this very clear for me. Your superpower is very much knowing that you've hit rock bottom. Maybe not right now. That's not what I'm saying. But I think some of you guys are aware that you've already hit multiple rock bottoms in your life, and you're now able to sort of look at things and be like, okay, where actually am I? You know, there was a period in my life in New York where I would actually say to my friends all the time, I'd be like, hey, I'm hitting rock bottom this week. Do you guys need anything on my way back? You know, you almost make like a joke of it. And I feel like, you know, we have to joke about certain things so that we don't like cry about them. But I think Libra, some of you guys are recognizing, hey, I've been in really tough cycles. I can make it through this. You know, I can get myself out of this. Yeah, Six of Swords, quite literally. Like, I've made it through worse than this. I can definitely survive this. Nine of Cups, the Empress. Like I said, some of you, this might be, you might be moving on from a mother figure. This might be someone you're walking away from. But it feels like regardless of who it is that you're leaving behind, you're doing it with the intention of, I've had to go through worse than this. You know, I feel like a lot of you guys are doing this with the knowledge of, again, like I said, I keep hearing my own voice, which is so disconcerting. Like, I'm going to rock bottom. You guys want anything? In those times, I think they want me to talk a little bit more. When I was dealing with those issues, it was always repetitive cycles for myself that I couldn't close, that I was struggling to end and get rid of. And that's why it was repeating for me. I would go through this horrible cycle, hit my rock bottom, climb my way back up, go along a little bit further, and then the cycle would repeat and I'd hit that bottom again and come back up and I keep going. Libra, I think what you're realizing here is the reason we constantly hit rock bottom is because you're not learning a lesson. Because there's something not being digested there. There's a behavior that's repeating, or there's, you know, we're allowing behaviors to repeat from certain people. And so now it feels like as your superpower, you're aware of it. You know, I think a big turning point for me when I was in New York was I realized the cycles that were open that were hurting me. And I was like, oh, this is why I'm not doing well. I think that's kind of what your superpower is right now, Libra. That's what you're recognizing, which is really important. You know, your hope is the Ten of Cups, babe. I see everything working out for you. Ten of Cups is beautiful, especially as a hope. I think you guys are really fighting for better right now. You're fighting for a better outcome. And I think that is very noble of you, you know, to go out of your way to fight for just a better life for yourself is really beautiful here. And I see it happening, babe. I really do. Yeah, death. Death is death of ego. Death is a beautiful card. And the High Priestess, a lot of you guys are getting in touch with your inner self. And the Devil, yeah. You're getting in touch with your inner self, your inner intuition. And this is such a huge combo, Libra, because you're quite frankly staring the devil in the face and then telling them to go fuck themselves. You know, like, is this such a really good outcome here, babe? Because you're quite literally looking at the cycle, looking at what's holding you back and going, I don't have time for this anymore. I'm going to heal the fuck out of that. This is such a good pivot point for you, Libra. You know, with Death and the High Priestess, you're really connecting with your inner self, your inner voice, your own intuition, and you're pushing past everything else. It's really beautiful. Your outcome is kind of funny. I laughed in the beginning. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's because I saw your outcome, which is the Lovers in reverse and the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. And Libra, this is just your inability to make decisions. This to me is ringing very true of like wherever this month leads you, you're gonna hit a point where you're gonna struggle to make some choices here, to make some decisions here. And I feel like it's gonna boil down to, yeah, Five of Pentacles in the reverse. I said this in, one of the other readings. I can't remember, but one of the other readings was not every loss is a loss. You know, some of you guys here with the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. We've also got the Magician here as well. I think, you know, the Wheel of Fortune as well. It's just, you're going to hit that wall of like, would my life be actually so bad if you were not in it? Would it actually impact me that horribly? Or would it maybe be kind of positive? Libra, you know, you're making really, I'm really happy with like the ending of this reading for you guys, Libra, because it just is, it's so positive. You know, you're coming out of some really tough cycles. You're facing some really dark fears, some really dark insecurities, and you're coming out ahead of all of it, which is just really beautiful. All right, let's get you guys an oracle card. I'm just cleaning up a little bit. I have a tendency to be really messy, and that's a cycle of my own I'm trying to break. Be a little bit more organized. So, this is the Angelarium. It is my favorite oracle deck to date. I use it all the time. If you've seen literally any video by me ever, you've probably seen this deck. So, what is the advice for Libra for September, please? What is the advice for Libra for September, please? All right. Let's get it, Libra. What's the advice here, please, for Libra? Thank you. Interesting. This came out in one of the other signs. I can't remember who, though. Off. Angel of Anger. Why do I feel like it's not focusing? Am I tripping? Okay, there we go. I'm like, wait, am I blind? I believe this is 23. I'm lying. 23. Okay. It is easy to see the clear danger that comes with naked anger. Be careful, as avoidance is rarely an option. The relentless nature of this persona can only be countered with empathy, which is its weakness. Consider the ways in which your own insecurities might be inadvertently nourishing feelings of malice hiding in your shadow. Libra, we are really, do you hear that thunder? Period. We are really tackling some shadow work this month. So, it's looking great for you guys. I see a lot of really good things happening for you. So, Libra, I will leave that there for you. That is your monthly forecast. If this reading resonates with you, or my reading style just happens to resonate with you, do consider liking and subscribing. We are on the way to 200 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate it. If you guys would like to interact with me on a live basis, I do go live 3 days a week on Twitch. You can find me Wednesday and Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST, as well as Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. EST. So, Libra, I leave you with this. I hope to see you over on Twitch, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!